page 6. Sixth word in the second paragraph. But from deep within the forests.
The big man.
Intros are getting fancier.
Sierra Online's getting the mad cash. They're spending it. They're blazing some trails. They're making the video games, the real video games.
With the return of his long-lost son Alexander and the rescue of his daughter Rosella from the terrible dragon, old King Graham decides it's time to pass on his adventurer's hat to younger blood. He flings the battered hat toward his children while his wife, Queen Valenice, proudly looks on.
Like a bouquet at a wedding.
The hat arches through the air. Suddenly, King Graham experiences a terrible squeezing pain in his chest.
Oh my god, he's so sad.
Help me! He rasps.
Oh my god, Valenice's face. She makes that exact face in 7.
The adventurer's hat lies unclaimed upon the floor, forgotten.
Wow, Alexander's sad face.
So,
I'm just gonna...
King Graham lies weakly in bed, Father Death hovering near. Grief suddenly overwhelming her, Rosella runs from the room. "Oh, Father," she sobs, "you're still young. You should have many years ahead of you. Oh, I wish I could help you, Father." "Do you really mean that?" a soft voice asks. Rosella looks up but sees no one. "Who's speaking to me?" "I am," the voice says. "Look in the magic mirror."
She's still looking.
Rosella sees an image in the mirror. "Who are you?" she queries. This message speed, man.
Very pretty artwork, though.
"I am the fairy Genesta. In my land of Tamir there is a remarkable tree. This tiny tree needs 100 years to bear a single fruit. But this is no ordinary fruit, for if a person were to eat it, they would find that good health and well-being would be theirs for many years." Rosella is much heartened by this news. Where is the land of Tamir? Genesta smiles. "Tamir is very far away, but with my magic, I can bring you here." Rosella senses that there is more to the story. "But I suppose there are some problems?" Again, Genesta smiles. "Yes, you are correct, Rosella. If you are willing to come to Tamir, I will explain the situation. However, once I bring you here, I can't send you back. You will have to help me first." Confused, Rosella says, I don't know. What if I can't help you, or find the tree?" Genesta pleads, You must decide now, Rosella. My powers are growing weaker by the minute.
God, I bet she'd be great selling gym memberships.
Now the fairy is but a faint glimmer and her voice barely audible. If you care for your father, say yes now. And suddenly she's gone. Yes!
A slightly manipulative way to frame this contract.
Yeah. Again, gym memberships.
The lovely fairy speaks. I am the fairy Genesta. Welcome to Tamir. Rosella looks awestruck at the fairy. She is stunningly beautiful, but there is still a certain sadness to her. Finally, Rosella speaks. I know you would like me to help you in some way, but I don't know how I could help a fairy. Genesta looks sadder than ever. You're wrong, Rosella. You see, I'm losing my magical powers. Yesterday, as I was strolling through the woods, Lalote, the evil fairy, caught me unawares and stole my magic talisman. The fairy sighs. She yanked it from my neck and raced away, screeching with laughter. Immediately, I felt my powers diminishing and my body weakening. I will die in 24 hours if my talisman is not returned. Intently, Genesta looks at Rosella. Lalote is very evil and will use the talisman to bring more evil to Tamir. Now I fear it will contaminate my whole country. Further, I cannot send you home without my talisman. Rosella is unsure as to what she can do. Meekly, she asks, I want to help you, but how? You can do more than you think, Rosella, Genesta assures her. I believe you will be able to penetrate Lalote's domain. Suddenly, Rosella remembers the tiny tree. Can you tell me where to find the magic fruit? Remorsefully, Genesta looks at Rosella. It will not be easy to reach the tree. It grows on a tiny island within a vast swamp on the other side of the great mountains. Bravely fighting back tears, Rosella says, I will help you in any way I can, Genesta. How can I find Lalote? The beautiful fairy points eastward. Lalote's castle overlooks Tamir from the great mountains. Genesta looks weaker as she says, There is not much more I can do, Rosella. As it is, it will be difficult for me to fly home again. One thing I must do for you, though. I shall disguise you as a peasant girl so as not to attract attention.
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't have our pretty dress anymore.
Thank you, Genesta. I think, Rosella stammers.
I think. Still a princess.
It will be better for you, the fairy says. Well, I must be off while I can still fly. I know you can do it. Goodbye. Good luck.
Personally, I think the red dress is more striking, but the fabric's probably not nearly as good quality.
Is it red or brown?
Well, you're on your own, Rosella.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to King's Quest IV. What do you think, guys?
Hello, dear viewers. We're back.
I'm I'm nervous and excited because we played this once as an adult, like together, and I think it was last year. It's hard to remember now. I don't remember much except some very choice, difficult sections. So this will be fun.
That's a really nice way of putting it, Suha.
So, I want to reflect on the intro a little bit. It's got to be a rough day for Alexander. Very eventful day. He learns that he's a prince who's been secreted away his entire life. He rides on a pirate ship. He basically is imprisoned. He escapes. He eludes a yeti, dies a couple times climbing some mountains, kills a dragon, meets his incredibly hot sister, and then the father, who he's never known, has a heart attack right in front of him.
Then his shitty father, who has let the countryside fall to waste after failing to save him from slavery from this evil wizard, keels over and almost dies. Remind me why Alexander should care.
Well, I was actually thinking, why doesn't Alexander just get back on the horse and go out adventuring again? I mean, like, it would kind of make way more sense for him to do it.
Well, I think that part of it, at least from the writer's perspective, is that Rosella hasn't had a chance to shine yet, and I'm glad that she did get her own game here. But also, big factor here about actually like helping Graham right now is that Genesta reached out to Rosella specifically. And she only has an opportunity because the magic mirror became unclouded, and Rosella happened to be, crying in the throne room.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Rosella had her chance. I'm just saying,
That does make me want to see a King's Quest III Gaiden, where we see Alexander's point of view as he does things behind the scenes that maybe enable Rosella to come back.
Also, I want to point out that Rosella's looking at Genesta in that close up and being like, she's stunningly beautiful, and they have basically the same Barbie face structure, just like it's looking into a mirror.
She also has an incredible rack.
Yes, I would like to point out that the entire time Rosella's eyes were fixed on her boobs.
Well, I feel like it's basically the same inner dialogue that Gwydion Alexander always had. It's like, you look at the fairy before you. She sure is beautiful. I mean, she's crying and whatever, but man, that rack. Boy, if she wasn't in trouble, you'd.
And Genesta's we've had thoughts Genesta's deal here with Rosella is very opportunistic, and that's appropriate for a fairy. Traditionally, fairies are very conniving and manipulative with their deals. So Genesta has had her magic necklace stolen, and is just basically looking for somebody to do the legwork for her.
It's just, to me, if you're looking for someone to do the legwork, why would you choose the princess who was literally just a few hours, maybe even 1 hour ago, or 10 minutes ago, who knows, crying, tied to a stake, whereas you have the other child who has clearly just come in from destroying a dragon. I'm just saying, Rosella was the manipulative choice, but you'd really think if you want to make sure you get your shit, how do you know she's not just going to sit on the beach and cry and go, oh, God, this sounds terrible. I love Rosella and I want her to succeed. But I'm just saying, if it were me and I were looking at the situation and about to die, I'd be like, instead of the one I know I can manipulate, let me ask the one who literally just did all of this stuff.
Rosella certainly in this intro dialogue has been very uncertain, very nervous, very I don't know, how can I do this? How do you think I can do this? This sounds impossible. This is crazy. I'm on Tamir. This is a whole other place. And I don't even have my old dress. This sucks.
I mean, she's a princess, unlike Graham, who had to earn his, kinghood or whatever by first being a knight and then adventuring. It seems to me she has never adventured and has never had to, and potentially even grew up with a dragon menacing the countryside, so maybe she's never even been outside the castle that much. It just doesn't seem like a good choice to me.
I think you're right. So I vote we skip King's Quest IV and go right to 5.
Nice try, Rick. Keep going.
I think that our earlier statement about why should Alexander care, maybe Alexander would be less motivated to save this father he has only just met,
versus Rosella, who is saving the father who just sacrificed her to a three-headed dragon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are inconsistencies here.
The other thing that sort of made sense, because I was noticing how fucking old Graham looked in this intro, is realizing Oh, Janesta said that whoever takes the fruit will have like many long years of like health and whatever. And so I'm wondering now if eating the fruit made him a little bit younger because in 5, literally after this, he's so fucking buff and hot and like not wrinkled and not really gray that it's like,
He's more like salt and pepper in 5 as opposed to this one where they're kind of like trying to sell the idea that he's on the verge of retirement.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could say that maybe he was under some kind of a curse. Like maybe that would explain why Graham let Daventry fall apart, because maybe it's somewhere along the way he was cursed and he got weak and he got old and he was not as sound of mind. But this fruit actually took that curse away. I don't know. You could probably say something like that, right?
That sounds like a great
explanation.
That would be a great fanfic Rick, or a fan Rick if you prefer.
Don't tempt me. All right, we've got to explore Tamir. A river coming from the east spills into the blue ocean before you. A lonely beach edges the ocean. From atop the bluff, a lovely meadow stretches eastward.
Oh, snap. That's right. Oh, I love the way she leaves her foot back.
Yeah.
It's a very princessy way of walking. Maximum drama at all times. Also, though she swings those fucking arms. She means business.
You see a beautiful wild unicorn in the meadow. Its coat is dapple gray, and its wonderful horn shines like gold. The unicorn shies at your approach and trots away. Can I just say, after playing King's Quest 2 and 3, it is so nice that when I start typing, the game pauses. Thank God for the SCI engine.
SCI engine's great. Like, not to knock AGI, just because, that's the foundation on which a lot of this genre is built, but, like, it's did not age quite as gracefully.
You see a crude mine shaft in the midst of this forest of pine trees.
It's funny comparing her walk to Laura Bow's walk, which is very, like, hands at your sides, kind of almost dancing sort of shimmy, whereas Rosella's like stomp, 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 stomp.
She is a power walker.
Yeah.
Like she drags her delicate little foot behind, and that's about all you've got. Like everything else is like, doosh, 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 like here I come.
Like yeah, Rosella's on a mission.
Yeah, you could see Rosella at like 9 a.m. in the mall doing her like mall walking power reps.
Yes. Oh, she's a mall walker.
You see a large thatched roof house surrounded by forest, and it looks very formidable. It might be wise to use caution here.
Oh? What's gonna happen? Let's not use caution. Oh, I remember who's in here.
You cautiously tap at the window, but are greeted only with vicious barking from the other side.
Open that door. Oh.
A thick forest of pine trees surround you. You see a house in the distance to the north. The ogre looks mean. Better get out of there, fast.
I love a man who walks as intentionally as I do.
Oh no! You're caught! The terrible ogre grabs you by the braids and drags you off to an untimely end. Dinner will definitely be on you tonight. So he's going to use this as a plate.
The game overs in this one are a little less personal, I feel. It's like,
I hate this.
Thing. It's like, hey, thank you for playing. Be more careful, idiot.
The music isn't even funny. Like,
no, this is just a straight up funeral dirge. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like Graham's dead too. Like, it's not just you.
That's why we're all so upset. It's nothing to do with us.
Yeah, what was it into? That's
right.
But when Rosella dies, like, all right, let's break out like the mourning band.
And I feel like we talked about this privately, but like Roberta Williams being
he's still here.
Yeah, he's coming.
Oh, he coming.
Like Roberta Williams being on the Game Over screen, like I wonder if that was Roberta's choice or Ken Williams's choice to put her on there.
What do you think would be the strategic purpose of that?
I'd
Like if it was Ken.
Sierra Online did a whole thing where they tried to really elevate their star designers to try to make sure that they kind of became a household name. So my instinct is that it was more so like Ken's idea to push that angle, because I don't have this perception of Roberta being that kind of prideful. Like everything I've read in like interviews and stuff kind of paints her as very demure, very just kind of like quiet and introverted, but also just like very nerdy about like fairy tales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding the box in my hands right now, and her picture is plastered right on the back corner.
Yeah.
Roberta Williams, designer of the King's Quest series, has sold more games than any other authoress in computer entertainment history.
Authoress?
Authoress.
I've never heard that before. Oh my god.
It says
this definitely
authoress.
Feels like Ken.
And by the way, just for everybody watching, I want you all to know that this game supports keyboard, mouse, and joystick. There are 40 minutes of original music composed and performed by William Goldstein, famed television series Hello Again, a Touchstone film, Switched On Classics, a top record album. Also, there are several mini-quests to complete before the final quest can be finished. There's a complete day and night cycle, a full-length cartoon introduction to the game, approximately 10 minutes running time, and over 3.0 megabytes of computer code, the largest computer game ever produced.
And that ever will be produced.
Oh, they were trying. I was wondering about the composer too, because I didn't remember seeing, composer stuff in the other ones, but no wonder.
Yeah, they went hard for this game. This was their baby.
You got new engine, you got all this stuff.
We are
calling it a cartoon intro. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they love to use the word cartoon. As we'll see in King's Quest V, they specifically refer to every cutscene as a cartoon. All right, well, let's keep exploring. A mountain range rises to the east from the forest. A narrow path winds steeply up the side of it.
Can't believe you didn't open the ogre's house. You said dinner was on us.
There's plenty of time. Uh-oh. Lalote's goons.
Fall off. There we go. I was going to say you should fall off and save him the trouble.
You should be more careful, Rosella.
I do appreciate that Lalote's inner domain here is wheelchair accessible.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
It's okay. We'll come back.
Oh, he's mad. That's interesting. In the other ones, you would just get off screen and you'd be good. And
Can't open the door. It's locked.
Oh, okay. Even in 5, I feel like, with the exception of maybe the Yeti, I feel like generally you get off the screen, you're good. Or I guess maybe the forest, but I suppose we'll come to that. Gosh, this game is very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Also, every time Rosella crosses a river, she's sopping wet from the waist down.
I know, I always think about that, and it always makes me laugh, just imagining the water coming down. Her shoes squishing.
I remember when I first played Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and you could see that his clothes were still wet after you got out of the water, and I thought, finally, technology is there. Indeed, this is a spooky old house. It looks as if no one has lived here for many years. Flanking the old house on both sides is a run-down cemetery. A thick forest looms all around.
It's just funny because despite having the tech to show that stuff, in Uncharted and beyond now, the characters never react the way they should. Now we can show it, but nobody's like, ugh, squish, 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 squish for 2 hours afterward.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'd love to see that. I'd love to hear squishy footsteps for the next hour. With trepidation, you rap on the door. Not surprisingly, nobody answers.
So I am actually remembering more of this game than I thought I would, but it's more like oh, we'll have to do this later, or oh, I remember who's here now, but I don't remember what to do with everything.
This is the entry room of the old house. Downstairs, you see 2 open doorways, and upstairs, you see an additional 2 doorways. The room is cobwebbed and dusty, with wallpaper peeling from the walls. You look in the broken mirror and see the reflection of a poor but beautiful peasant girl.
There it is. Your clothes are ugly, but your body is slamming, and your face, mwah.
An old grandfather clock sits in the corner. With each swing of its pendulum, time relentlessly marches on. I do love the giant Rosella sprite, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's as tall as that clock.
Mm-hmm.
Also, somebody wound that clock, so something to consider.
This old dining room has seen better days. The long table is littered with crumbs and dust, and against the wall, the empty hutch is covered with cobwebs. The dusty old table is littered with crumbs. You know, this house is set up an awful lot like Manannan's house.
It does have some parallels.
The old kitchen is quite bare. The fireplace has been cold for years, and the dusty pantry is empty but for old crumbs. Is that a bellows? Can we get the bellows? Nope. Look at churn? Nope. How about look at shelves? Nothing. This place is full of garbage.
What a waste of time.
Can't open drawers.
That doesn't belong to you, Laura Bow.
What the hell? I don't know if Discord just suddenly focused that picture, but
Oh.
it was like artifacted for a second, and then it was like picture. I was like, woo.
Oh my god. Considering the disarray of the rest of the house, the parlor looks in relatively good order. However, the fireplace is cold and unused, the bookshelves are almost bare, and the old furnishings are dusty.
No mention of the creepy portrait, eh?
An interesting portrait of a young girl hangs above the fireplace. You gaze at it intently and notice that her eyes seem to stare at the left wall of the parlor. You examine the left wall very closely and notice a little latch. You flip the latch in the wall, and behold, you have discovered a secret door.
I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the game or if Discord just keeps artifacting right by her portrait, but it's like fucking weird.
It's she's just spooky, okay?
Ooh, a shovel. You never know when a girl could use a shovel.
You have found a secret tower. Narrow steps spiral dizzyingly upward. You notice a shovel leaning against the wall. Yeah,
Secret
a girl can
tower.
also shovel.
Are we about to be a girl in a?
Strictly speaking, yes.
Oh, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it? Oh boy, this is like the fucking MC Escher stairs. Well, I guess that's in 7, but of this. You know what? It's cool that Roberta keeps calling back to shit. Because this is definitely, you're gonna have to do this in 7 too.
It's a staple of the series is to have precarious walkways.
Yeah, but this is really like nuts.
A dusty old pipe organ sits in the center of the tower room.
Better save it and die. And by die, I mean play the organ.
Moving the inside of the bench.
Here comes Mordak. You know what? I just realized something. This is fine for Rosella because she's a princess, so you know that she probably totally, like, has learned to play piano and organ and all that kind of stuff. But, like, Alexander and Six can play instruments, and he's only been a prince for, like, maybe 2 years.
Well, Graham got him on
Maximum
that stuff immediately. Like, as soon as, like, Graham was in bed from the heart attack, Felony's like, no. We're going to get you trained.
He's giving him summer homework.
Yeah. Also, I can't listen to that, like, organ theme without, like, thinking of, like, ActRaiser.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely got ActRaiser vibes.
It actually makes me think of Ocarina of Time, even though it's not at all similar, but just, you know, the whole fucking organ in the top of a castle shit. It's a very iconic evil game shit.
Yeah. And, like, Rosella gives off some big Ganondorf energy, so.
Well, that powerful walk, you know.
This old bedroom must have once been very nice. You could imagine a cheery fire in the fireplace while its occupant slept snugly in the big bed. But sadly, this room has been abandoned for years. God, this is bringing back so many memories.
Of this game, or?
Of this game. And I don't mean like childhood memories. I mean memories of a year ago or whenever it was that we played it together. Pixel hunting in these rooms.
You guys did spend a lot of energy in these rooms.
I mean, can you blame us? It appears as if this was once the master bedroom. However, cobwebs hang everywhere and dust covers the furniture.
I mostly remember one particular thing here, which again, you know, as with everything else I remember, is like, oh, that's later. Nothing to be done now.
This old baby nursery must have once been a cheery place. Now, through neglect, cobwebs decorate the corners, wallpaper peels from the walls, and dust covers the nursery furniture. The baby cradle is empty.
Nothing happened?
I mean, it's just an empty cradle.
Just the music makes it seem like you've done something.
Can't sit in the chair, that would waste our precious time.
Father is dying right now.
You know, now that she's she's big, we can look at her walk cycle a little bit better. And it looks like her hands are kind of delicate princess pose, like they're kind of out, but she's just swinging those arms so powerfully. It's a very interesting walk. Good for her. It serves her.
This is a scary old cemetery. Many of the tombstones are crumbling or falling over, and the entire place is overgrown with weeds. A mountain range looms to the east, and all around a forest encroaches. How odd. You see a crypt door built right into the mountainside. Can I open it? Nope. Door's locked.
No grave robbing just yet, Rosella.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You have come upon a bizarre group of scary human-like trees. A thick forest of pine trees surrounds this strange group. Steep mountains block your way to the east.
Oh.
You've really gotten yourself out on a limb this time, Rosella.
It's hard for me
like
not to... Oh, go ahead.
She just drops dead immediately as soon as she's grabbed her. She's like, she's playing possum.
Maybe it worked. It's just hard for me not to hear the King's Quest 3 death music immediately. Like, this music is not iconic at all.
Do 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 do.
Me. This is so muted. Like it just, I don't even know how we're gonna memorize it.
Weren't there different death messages?
Yeah.
I thought there were, but
Wouldn't you know it?
Oh, that's
You've
right.
been caught.
at least they did it there. I mean, but I feel like that should be what you get before the,
Yeah,
no
that should be the
Roberta
death
screen.
message.
I
Yeah.
mean, for most of the series, the puns have been the standard.
Time to leave this mortal world. All right, that's enough trees. Oops.
Tree butt.
Tree butt. Key touches the tree butt. Key spank it.
That's right, the tree butt.
Slap tree.
What did you think this is? A Leisure Suit Larry game?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine if they did let you interact with the tree butt? Like, I don't know how I would react to that.
There's a house in the distance to the north.
You know what they should do? They should make a fantasy King's Quest like spin-off Leisure Suit Larry, where the puzzle is like slapping the tree butt or getting it like a tree speedo or something like that.
Well, Suha, all I can say is be the change you want to see in the world.
Please. God, please.
I just might.
Bring us on as creative consultants. We'll do nothing and reap all the benefits.
That's my favorite kind of thing. As a businesswoman, that's where the real money is. Oh, hello.
You see a lively creature who is at the same time both man and goat. He is a satyr, and his name is Pan. He seems to be greatly enjoying his flute music.
I like it when the game tells you stuff like somebody's name without, you having any way of knowing it.
You attempt to speak to Pan, but he pays you no mind. He's too wrapped up in his flute music.
I mean, Pan's reputation precedes him, so.
It's just like Laura Bow yesterday. He's too busy listening to the Victrola.
There's that crow again.
The beautiful pool with its elegant marble columns has a wonderful setting in these woods. The water looks so cool and inviting. You're almost tempted to jump in.
Jump in. Oh. Well, that looked like it was going to end worse than it did.
The water is too shallow to swim. The beautiful pool is lined with tall marble columns. Oh, what's that? Look under bridge. You peek under the bridge, but do not see anything of importance from where you're standing. How about here? You kneel down and peer under the bridge. Aha! You have found a small golden ball. You pick it up and carry it with you.
Wouldn't it have been nice if that had been in King's Quest 3, where you can see something on the overworld?
I don't feel like I even saw it. I'm going to have to watch this back later.
It was like 4 pixels.
Numerous water lilies float serenely upon the lovely little pond nestled in these woods. Atop one of the bigger lily pads, you notice a rather large frog wearing a little gold crown.
So cute.
Frug?
Oops, you scared the frog away. He comes back though, right? Yeah, of course he does.
I remember the solution to that.
This
Now,
rundown... Oh, go ahead.
I'll just ask it quickly. Since we played this recently, are we trying to see how much we can remember naturally? Or, like, do you want me to just say, like, oh, you need to do this thing? I don't remember much, but...
I remember you guys struggling with this particular beat last time, so I'm not opposed to you using your persisting knowledge.
Yeah, let's see what we can remember. David is the adventure game whisperer, so he remembers all the solutions in perpetuity, but you and me, Suha, we're not very good at remembering adventure game puzzles, so...
I mean, I feel like I remember this particular one, so I'm surprised that David is saying that we struggled with it.
Well, when you I think it was more so that you guys weren't as familiar with the trope it was referencing.
It was familiar. All right, I'll let you lead on that one. Right? But anyway, go ahead and read, and then we'll talk about it.
This run-down, gloomy cemetery gives you the creeps. Many of the old tombstones have fallen over, and the entire place is overgrown with grass and weeds.
I just have this very particular memory of being like, you know, all right, good job, me. You remembered that story. You remembered that important detail that not everybody else remembered. I mean, to see it taken from me. Wow.
It was indeed Suha time.
Mm-hmm.
What did you trip over?
It's like a 1 foot the ledge.
Oh, I see.
Ow! Hey!
She lands so gracefully.
Kind of sad that Rosella doesn't have her own ow hey. She just laughs when she falls down a long way, or she screams.
I'll just let myself in.
The way doors open in this game is fucking terrifying. Like, it sounds like someone's gonna get you.
This is the main room of the Seven Dwarves' cozy treehouse. What a mess it is.
Sounds like they could use a woman's touch, eh? I'm a princess, but I knows how to do the woman's work. What with me being a woman and all. I probably never did this shit in my life, but here I am innately good at it. For some reason.
Now that I've cleaned your house, how many of there were you, did you say? 7?
Funny number. Sure it's not related to anything. I mean, like, dishes, you know... This is too much for a princess, man. Like... It's very, very easy to do dishes badly.
You hear the dwarves approaching. You watch quietly as the dwarves file in one by one, get a bowl of soup, and take a seat at the table.
Completely nonplussed that this woman is here.
Well, I mean, that's her job, ain't it?
God.
Literally, the puzzle is that they were waiting for a woman to come clean up for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were just gonna leave it otherwise. Or maybe lazy. Sorry, go ahead.
They started making stew and then thought, shit, all of our bowls are dirty. Well, let's just go to work, and when we come back, maybe they'll be clean.
Maybe they have a chore chart and it was Lazy's turn this week. He didn't do it.
I figure, like, even if Rosella did a bad job with the dishes, they probably are accustomed to not really cleaning. Just like, oh, well, this is only mostly crust. It'll just add to the flavor.
Oh, there isn't a Lazy, is there?
Yesterday's soup was really good. I'm excited about seeing how the remnants mix with today's.
It's, what do you call it? Perpetual stew, you know? It's a fucking fantasy thing.
The 7 dwarfs seem very pleased that you tidy their messy home. One politely asks you your name. You tell him, and he cordially invites you to sit down with them and eat the bowl of soup he got for you.
Rosella, eh? What kind of personality trait is that? Does it mean one who cleans?
You seat yourself at the table and begin to eat the surprisingly delicious soup.
Can you imagine eating anything made in this disgusting house? You know, I was going to joke that Gwydion never had to do this kind of, like, demeaning chores, and I remember that he started the game as a slave. It's only equal and fair when you think about it.
So in this alternate timeline where like Alexander is the one that gets whisked away by Janesta, he just comes across this house and is like, this is awful. Like Manana would never put up with this. I'm going to do something about this.
No, he's triggered. Like he walks out of the house like, no, I'm never doing that again.
You politely talk to the dwarf nearest you. Where are you from, Rosella? He asks. You tell him Daventry. The dwarf thinks for a moment. Never heard of it. Again, you engage in conversation. Is Daventry far from Tamir? The dwarfs wonder. Very far, you tell them. How did you get here? They ask. As you don't want to get into specifics, you tell them by sea. That answer seems to satisfy them as they return to their eating. You speak to the nearest dwarf again. He wonders why you are here in Tamir. You explain that you are in the services of Janesta, the good fairy, who wishes to regain her magic talisman from the clutches of Lolote, the bad fairy. Well, young lady, the dwarf states, I don't envy you. You're much braver than I am, dealing with that evil fairy. You attempt conversation another time, but the dwarfs tell you they must hurry and finish their soup, as they need to get back to work before dark.
Scrumptious.
Who's going to do the dishes, I wonder?
It's time for the little men to go back to the mine. Goodbye, and thanks for the soup, they call as they take their... You call as they take their leave.
Thanks for letting me clean your nasty-ass house. Couldn't even take your plates to the sink.
Don't worry, I'll get that. You finished your soup also. It was the best soup you've ever tasted. Maybe, though, you were just really hungry.
Are the, like, Daventry cooks just slacking?
You know what? They probably are. I mean, can you imagine that they probably didn't have a lot with the dragon, ruining everything? Like, it was probably fucking with livestock. What's that on the table? Oh, it's like a pouch or something.
You see a long wooden table. You also notice a blue pouch. A diamond pouch.
It's full of diamonds.
You open the diamond pouch and look inside. Many diamonds flash and sparkle from within. Carefully, you close it again so as not to lose any. Cheery fire heats a bubbling pot of soup in the fireplace. Above fire? What is that on the... Is that even a thing?
Those are the bowls.
Oh.
Oh. You know, it does occur to me that, like, King Graham passed out right after Rosella came home with Alexander. Yeah. So, like, she probably hasn't eaten since before the dragon incident.
Oh, that's true. She probably didn't have any appetite.
All right, now as I
running
recall...
on fear and adrenaline.
Yeah.
Do we save?
Yeah, let me save. I saved as frog, whatever. Now, as I recall, we have to give those diamonds back to the dwarves that we pilfered from the table.
Yes. Oh, hey!
You see a rather jaunty-looking fellow who appears to be a wandering minstrel. He seems to be a lute player.
Is he playing shitty? I feel like I remember he played shitty.
You say hello to the minstrel, who looks at you in surprise. Well, well, who do we have here? He asks. You introduce yourself as Rosella. Hello, Rosella, the minstrel says. Let me play for you one of my favorite tunes. And he begins to play an old ballad. Unfortunately, he's fucking awful at this, as he plunks and plinks his way through an otherwise beautiful song, but not beautiful now because he's really bad.
You gotta call him Big Daddy or Big Boy or Big Man. Big guy is like it's real friendly. Yeah, I bet it doesn't. Soon Rosella will also not understand Daddy. It's a joke about King Graham dying. Actually, I think Alexander is probably the one that doesn't understand Daddy. Wah, wah.
Wow. Wow.
Now, did you kiss him or try to
did.
kiss him?
I did.
Oh wow.
Listen, your influence, Suha, you've been around long enough. I've been around you long enough. I know to kiss the NPCs.
It's great. I don't even have to ask anymore.
But that could get me in more trouble than it's worth.
I love that. I love when the game really takes it seriously. It's like, ew, you'd never do that. Oh.
Never kiss a boy, not before marriage. Prince Throckmorton.
Not like Laura Bow's best friend Lillian.
Tree butt. Like, they didn't have to give that tree a butt. But they did, and I appreciate it.
It's the little touches, that make a video game.
They literally only put it facing backwards just to put a tree butt. Because they wanted to make sure, lest you think that it was a regular tree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you go up to the butt, like, it can't kill you from there, right?
No.
Amazing. Climb tree.
You've got to be kidding.
No, not at all. Get a hold on that little butt, and just...
I guess it depends on how ample that posterior is.
It looks pretty caked up. I don't know.
Yeah. Excellent leverage.
All right, I want to try to get back to... Where is that diamond mine? Was it over here?
I mean, I guess we can't really tell the volume. It could be like a Hank Hill ass, or it could be just 2 basketballs, but we don't know. Oh! Speaking of 2 basketballs. We should ask him if he's looking for a tiny wife.
A tiny, sexy wife. So
with a
poor,
beautiful
but so
face.
beautiful.
Exactly.
Diamonds glitter and sparkle from the earthen walls of the Seven Dwarfs diamond mine. Within it, you see the little men busily at work. You endeavor to engage in conversation with the small men, but they are too busy to reply.
I like to imagine that there's just deafening tink, tink, tinking going on. She's like, hello? Tink, 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 tink. I'll come back later.
Oh no,
now, see here,
I fell
it's
over.
like sparkles. It's the same sparkles from the diamond mine. What's he doing? What's he busy with? Is he thinking? Is he paralyzed by our beauty? Oh, he's looking at something. Okay.
He's looking at something, all right.
Oh, no, that guy's got a real diamond in his hands. That other one had little fucking coin-sized ones.
Being an honest person, you offer the forgotten pouch of diamonds to the dwarf. His gruff exterior softens a bit. Nah, you can keep it, he says. We got plenty here. We also got an extra lantern we ain't using. Here, go ahead and take it. The dwarf's gruffness returns as he says, Now skedaddle on out of here. Oh boy, we got the lantern. Oh boy.
Are you just remembering the trauma of when it's used?
Yep.
I feel like I remember, I feel like we kept the diamonds last time, and we did something sort of unfair or uncool with them. I don't remember what.
We're supposed to use the diamonds for something, but unless we show them to the dwarf, we don't get the lantern.
Oh, right, okay. That guy looks so shady, I love it.
And if we don't get the lantern, we're in a fail state.
Well,
no, I think we're in an annoying state. What the hell is that? Oh, it's a bird and a worm.
You see a fat worm wiggling on the ground.
I
Or-
did not remember this item.
So we're not in a fail state?
We had a big contention over it because like I made a big to-do about making sure that we went back and got it. And then when we got to where it's used, its utility was very questionable.
Yeah. Let's go see Lalote.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen her yet. And that was why.
You'll never take me alive.
I'm really sad that this is our last experience with Sierra Stairs.
You know what? You say that, but there will definitely be places we can fall.
Oh, there's
And
places
fall
we can
hard.
fall, for sure. Well, my pets, Lalote hisses, what have you drug home today? Lalote gives you the once-over as she does, and as she does, her red eyes begin to narrow.
Poor yet sexy.
Are you a foolish, sexy girl who wandered here by mistake? Or are you a sexy spy sent here by my enemy Genesta, who is also sexy? You swear to Lalote that you are nothing but a poor peasant girl who has lost her way, but she doesn't seem to believe you as her mouth begins to snarl and her eyes narrow to mere slits. For the first time, you experience real fear and begin... I was tied up by a fucking three-headed dragon!
No, she was fine.
Lalote snarls. You don't look stupid enough to have wandered here. I believe you're a sexy spy. Take her to the cell.
I love this mouth open.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would like to also point out for our audience, in the preceding scene, we established that the crow that's been circling us overhead for the duration of our exploration is Lalote's, like, familiar.
You have found yourself in a horrible cell. It looks as if others have found their way here too. Hopefully you won't end up like them.
So maybe the issue with the dragon is that she was not crying and scared. She was just fucking furious and angry.
Yeah, she's like just enraged because she couldn't like be the one to fix the problem.
Like, do you know who I am? You know, do you know who my father is?
There's nothing of importance on the walls. There's a cat of nine tails on the wall. There's stuff here that I could take. You hear the henchmen returning. Perhaps they are setting you free.
Feels very optimistic.
The henchman motions you to follow him out of the cell. Lalote gives you a sickly sweet look. You're lucky, my dear, she coos. My precious son Edgar has taken a liking to you, and he believes you. He's convinced me to give you a chance to prove your innocence. You glance at the homely young man standing next to Lalote. He blushes. Lalote continues, I wish to own the unicorn that inhabits the meadowland. Poor Edgar.
I know.
Bring me the unicorn, and I shall not only set you free, but reward you as well. To her henchman, Lalote orders, Go, take her back to the forest.
God, that cannot feel good. Being held up by your arms like that.
Oh no. Oh, not at all.